Hello all, my name is Greg and I'm responding to your request on the Assisted Living Facebook group for a quick video here looking at your website to see what could be done to optimize it for more traffic. So the reason I do this is because I know that many business owners are busy with the business of running their businesses and don't always necessarily think about marketing and growth, although they want growth, or they don't know who to trust and who has the expertise to help them out. So I make these videos to help people with some very actionable information that you could take and start using tomorrow, in the hopes of building trust. And if you then down the track think that you can use an extra pair of hands to help execute on some of these strategies, that you might think of me when it comes to doing this work for you. So without further ado, let me give you some overview here, Earl. Really, for me, it's all about beating your competition to the top of Google. If you're not in the first three positions in organic search or in the map pack, you're missing out on at least 90% of all the potential traffic. If you're on page 2, you really are nowhere. There are three things that I'm going to talk about today and give you some suggestions on as I look at your website. Number one, content, so the words and images, quality and quantity throughout your site. Number two, backlinks. This is Google's popularity contest. But a backlink refers to an instance where another website links back to your website. They contain your URL, your website address in their domain, and it links back to your site. The more of these links you have, the more Google might trust you, if they trust them. Number three is citations. The number of times your business name, address, and phone number are mentioned throughout the web in various directories that are relevant to your industry. These three things together allow Google to assess of you authority, trust, and relevance. Google cares greatly about their customers' experience, those people using their search functionalities. They want to put in front of their customers relevant information that is trustworthy and will answer their questions in the very first instance, in the very first search. So we want to build trust, authority, and relevance in the eyes of Google's machine so that they can feel confident putting your site up when your services are searched for. So let's look at content. Here I am looking at your website, Earl. The first thing I want to mention, really very importantly actually, look right up here in the top left-hand corner. Your site is not secure. It is vulnerable to being stolen and redirected for other, usually nefarious purposes. So that is something that you'd want to address ASAP. The next thing I'm going to mention here is the aesthetics. So I love to see websites that really tell a story about what the service is all about. And I can see that yours is very architecturally forward. Which is what I would expect. It's clean, it's modern, and I like the functionality. Google, however, apart from the performance of your site, doesn't care about aesthetics. What they care about is content and content quality and quantity. They care about quantity because they assume that if you're able to write in volumes about your services, that you are somewhat authoritative in what you're writing about, number one. And number two, they assume that if there's a sheer number of words, that surely the answers that their customers are looking for might be somewhere in your site. So we need a lot of words. A rule of thumb, and it does depend on who we're competing with, is that the homepage here should contain at least 1,500 words. Now, various industries are very much sort of more visual, such as architecture, design, build. But the fact remains that words are also necessary because your customers are landing here looking for information, looking for answers. So we need to satisfy both them and Google in this sense. So that's 1,500 words on the homepage, and at least 500 words for every back page or service page that sits behind here. So yeah, that's the first thing. That's on quantity. Quality is also very important. Quality refers to the choice of words that you use when writing up about your services. We talk about keywords or keyword phrases. A keyword phrase is a phrase that your customer or a potential customer might be using in Google to search for design build in Scottsdale, Arizona. As long as what we want is those keywords to be written all the way throughout your site. Let me give you an example here, Earl. I did a search, design build Scottsdale, Arizona. This is a very common keyword. It's what I call a buyer intent location-based keyword. Location-based being, of course, we're focusing on Arizona. This, I assume, is where most of your customers come from. If you have customers that come from other towns and cities, we need keywords in your content that speak to those locations too. And of course, design build being the service that you offer. Okay. We want these keywords in all their iterations, focusing on all the locations written into your content. Let's go have a look at the back end here in some analytics around your site. So here's a tool that I have access to that gives me some very useful data. First thing that I want to point out to you here, Earl, is that these two numbers here are super important. The first one being organic traffic. The way that your site is currently configured, you're attracting 0 organic visitors to your website per month. So whilst your website looks great and represents your business well, I'm sure, it's not actually serving a function of winning business for you. So the point of this discussion is to change this number upwards significantly. And I will show you what that can look like by looking at one of your competition in a minute. But we're talking about keywords here. And again, Google is not indexing any keywords for your site, which means that no matter what anyone is searching for, there is no match, no link between your site and the content within and a search that anyone might be doing for you. Let's compare this with one of your competitors, Legacy AZ, which I pulled out of the search that I did for Design Build Scottsdale, Arizona. So let's look at these key numbers here. They are attracting, with the way that they're currently optimized, 176 visitors per month. Now, I'm not sure that that you need that many visitors to turn into jobs. Depends on the conversion rate, but you can imagine what having even half of this might do for your firm in terms of jobs won. Okay, but here we're talking about keywords again. I'm going to give you an example of what they are doing to optimize for that traffic. So we're looking for buyer intent location-based keywords. So here we go, Earl. We're looking at several very good examples and variations on the theme that I mentioned in terms of keywords. Arizona, home remodeling. Home remodeling, Scottsdale. Home remodeling, Scottsdale, Arizona. Bath remodel, Scottsdale. Remodel contractor, Scottsdale. Okay, so this number here refers to the number of searches for that keyword per month. This number is the difficulty to compete against that keyword. Now, the strategy that we would employ here is to figure out the best set of 15, 20 keywords that are high volume, low difficulty, and we write those into your content in a very strategic way that is organic and natural, so that Google, when they index your site, they can make a match between your content and these search terms. Okay. Yep, so that's content, quality and quantity. Let's move on quickly then to backlinks. So backlinks, as I mentioned, is Google's popularity contest. The more sites that link to you, as long as those sites are trusted, you are trusted too by association. You currently have one backlink to your site, so only one opportunity to drive that power and trust. Whereas, for example, the opportunity here is really to go all out, to go for sheer volume. So Legacy AZ has persuaded 154 other websites to link back to them. The strategy here is to figure out what these backlinks are, what these domains are that link back. Pick only the quality ones. It's no good picking a scammy site to link back to yours. It actually hurts. We find the best sites. We reach out. We ask for a link. Sometimes we pay. Sometimes we just register. And we go one by one until we've built a very solid backlink profile that drives power and trust to your site, which results in a lot more organic traffic, okay, and therefore a lot more business. So that's the backlink strategy. And the third thing I mentioned was citations. The number of times your business name, address, and phone number are mentioned on directories throughout the web. It's a very simple process here. We, again, reach out to all these directories one by one. We register your name, address, and phone number. And the strategy is to beat your nearest competition by at least 100 or 150. It's a numbers game. But again, it's a powerful game to win. And more than that, it also helps you win. This particular piece helps you win the map. The map is important because it's the top 3 results that anyone sees apart from ads. And also for those people that are searching via mobile phone on the go, being in the map pack allows them from their phone to click one button to call you, to reduce the friction between the search process and the connection to the actual business. The other thing I'm going to mention here is that I don't like seeing this. I don't like seeing these referral domains and directories up here in the top spots. I think this is a bad buyer experience, a bad search experience. I'd far rather see actual businesses listed here, because I don't want, as a personally, to have to click on one of these links and then search again through 15 more design firms. That doesn't help me. I want to do my own research direct to the businesses. So here's our opportunity, Earl. It's to optimize your site in the ways that I've mentioned, to get you some or all of this traffic or more, so that we can really think about, you can think about growing or taking on more work if that's your goal, or at least being able to pick and choose the jobs that you take if you have that luxury. So anyway, I'm going to stop here, Earl. Without further ado, I'm going to send this across to you right now. I really hope that it's of great use to you, and that you can start using this information immediately. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you would like to talk more or have any questions answered, please, I'm more than happy. If you would like to talk about the process of putting together an execution plan on this, again, more than happy to do so. With that, thank you so much for watching my video.